Kendra G speaks on Claressa Shields' situation, and I think she has it flat out wrong, you guys, and we got to get into it. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Claressa Shields. Surprise, surprise. AKA Pap's Mistress. AKA Pap's Entanglement. AKA Pap's Pick Me. AKA Pap's Side Chick. Or as Chris Cyborg would say, it is duck hunting season. There always seems to be a common theme with Claressa Shields supporters, Claressa Shields defenders, male or female. And it's kind of like a few different categories that we run into whenever they want to put their capes on for Claressa Shields, right? The first group of people that we have are the I'm going to defend any black celebrity, any black public figure, any black reality star, any black athlete, no matter what. We have that category of people, right? We have another category, a second category of people, right? And the men that they have an issue with some of these other female fighters that Claressa Shields has had beef with, whether it's Layla Ali, whether it's Alicia Baumgartner, or whatever the case may be, or they do not like Remy Ma and are in support of Pap, right? Then we have the group of the silent mistresses and side chicks themselves that do not want their business out here in the streets, right? So they're supporting the fact that Claressa is knowingly entertaining this married man because they did it too. They either did it in the past or they're doing it now. So when they're in the comments, I don't see why y'all are hating on Claressa Shields. I don't see why y'all giving Claressa Shields a hard time and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's because some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all that are defending her, y'all in the trenches together. Y'all are in the same struggle together, knowingly involving yourselves with married men, and y'all are the ones that show up on these podcasts talking about how y'all like dealing with married men. But because, you know what I'm saying, you like the fact that he has a wife and kids to go home to. No. Right? And then there is the other category, fourth category, of people who either are clueless or unaware of all of the things that Claressa Shields has done, in particular, these past few years alone. Ignore all of Claressa Shields' behavior on social media, going back and forth with people in the comments, allegedly under burner accounts and herself, talking crazy, talking cash, SHIT to people, victimizing herself in every situation, whether it was with the mother of four with the toy drive, whether it was with Layla Ali, whether it was with Alicia Baumgartner, whether it was with Shadesha Green, whether it was with Franchon Cruz, and so on and so forth, whether it was with Remy Ma and all the things, or her specifically calling out light-skinned black women as quote-unquote her biggest haters and her only haters. But the petitions say otherwise, that it's all walks of life, of women and men who are sick of your SHIT. So I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, put that into perspective when I see the defenders for Claressa come out in full force. Is I always have to sit back. I'm like, okay, are they either a mistress or a side chick, or were they at one point in time? Are they unaware of Claressa Shields' social media activity? Are they one of those defenders that's going to defend black public figures, black athletes, no matter what? Or, you know what I'm saying? Are they not a fan of Remy Ma, Layla Ali, Alicia Baumgartner, and so on and so forth? So therefore, that gives them that agency and license to defend Claressa. I feel like those are the four categories. Those are the four criteria. One or more of those four criteria seem to apply in these situations. So we are going to get into what Kendra G had to say. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her or not. She is on the YouTube. I believe she also has a show right now out on OWN, or it has a show coming out on OWN Network. I'm not sure if it's out already or not. But she was a popular dating coach or whatever the case may be in her mid 40s. I don't believe that she's married. Some people have critiqued her because they feel like she has since taken on some of the talking points of Kevin Samuels. That's just what the people are saying out here as it approaches dating. I believe she also has a dating app or a way for people to connect and all this and all of that. But that is kind of a little bit of backstory. And so what the clip is that we're going to get into, she is on a radio station and she's going back and forth with somebody on why they do not support Claressa Shields. And some of her talking points are very interesting. And we've got to break down what in the world she is talking about. So let's take a watch and listen.
Claressa, a lot of people are giving her advice without remembering you had to take the class. You got to let her go on her journey and take her class. There's lessons I would not know if I didn't graduate from the course already.
What course is Kendra G talking about? Most people are raised to not knowingly get involved with a married man. So I am of confusion as far as what course Claressa has to go through when she knowingly went into the DMs of a married man and befriended his wife, Remy Ma, as well, and pretended that she wanted to be her friend and wanted fashion tips and styling tips and all the things. Whole time she was plotting on her husband. So what class is that they teach you to knowingly pursue and shoot your shot at somebody else's husband? And also, what class does Claressa need to go to at 31 years old to not attack, harass, bully, and shame people on the internet? That should be common sense. Let's continue.
Yeah, right. And I have to give grace, that's the word I'm looking for other people to go through their own journey. Now, if you ask me directly advice and how the story goes, then I can give it to you tenfold, no holds barred. But it's not
how that story goes.
How any story goes.
How that story's gonna end.
Why are you so pressed about her life?
Oh, no, I'm not pressed.
No. Kendra G, we are going down the wrong road. About how a story is going to progress, how, Claressa didn't go to school, she didn't go to the workshop, she doesn't understand the playbook. None of this matters. This is all common sense. It is common sense not to befriend a wife, a couple, under nefarious pretenses, under the guise of you've been a fan of Remy and Pap since their Love and Hip Hop days. You love their love story. You slide in Remy's DMs. You want to be her friend. You're calling her sis. You're stalking her every move, when she's out of town, when she's in town, what she's eating, what she's watching on TV, wishing her happy birthday, all of the things, all of the sort. And then you pop out with her husband. Meanwhile, the husband is still sleeping on the couch at Remy's house, trying to convince Remy to get back into their marital bed, that he's not out here cheating anymore. Only for Remy to find out otherwise. I do not understand why Kendra G is going after this other lady. We're going to continue the clip here. But ultimately, from what I can take away, the other lady that Kendra G is going after, she's basically saying that it's never going to end well when you knowingly involve yourself with a married man. The story never ends well. Even if you end up with the married man for real, you're always going to be looking over your shoulder because you know how you got him. And even in those text messages that Remy Ma exposed, it was Claressa knowingly involving herself with a married man, knowingly telling the married man he should get 2 phones so he can continue to deceive his wife. Y'all were not concerned about no Easy the Black Captain or any of the other foolishness when y'all were doing all that texting, and you were begging a married man not to treat you like the mistress that you are, and you needed to be seen more. Let's continue.
No, you are pressed.
I'm
No,
not pressed.
No, we're going to get into it. Why are you so pressed about it? This is a real question because at some point in time, I do think, and I hope you don't take this out, I do think people use her as clickbait. Because why are people so emotionally connected when there's somebody in your family right now dealing with...
First of all, as far as people in my family or my friends or people that I know, there is nobody I know that has knowingly involved themselves with a married man, right? Out of all of my years, there has been one person I know that knowingly was dipping their toe in the pool and they were consulting for advice because they were dealing with somebody that they previously knew, whether it was school or somebody from their hometown or something along those lines, that they were upfront and told them they were getting a divorce, there was problems in their marriage, they were sleeping on the couch, and this individual was asking, okay, what should I do? And we immediately told her, shut it down. Shut it down. He's not leaving his wife. If he really is interested, if he is really serious about you, you know what I'm saying? He's going to hit you up when that divorce is final. But any man that is talking about I'm sleeping on the couch, I got an apartment, because that's a popular one. I got an apartment, I got a place to stay. But if there is no progression on any alleged divorce, don't do it. Do not do it. Because you are going to be wasting your years on somebody that is not ready to let go of their wife. Other situations that have happened that I know of anybody that I've known in my life that is not actively out here pursuing married men or men who are in relationships or unavailable, are the women who were bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray by a man who presented himself as a single man. But what happens with married men that present themselves as a single man is eventually the same pattern tends to happen, which is however y'all met, however y'all got encountered with each other, or whatever the case may be, you guys are hot and heavy, you guys have all this chemistry. Heck, you might be going out on dates, you might be talking on the phone, texting all the time, so on and so forth. But then what happens? There's a random drop-off. There's a random ghosting. And you know that things are going well. You know there's not any problems. There hasn't been any arguments. There hasn't been any drama. There hasn't been anything. Just randomly, they appear to fall off the face of the earth, or they're not contacting you as much as they did in the beginning. And you know for a fact there hasn't been any problems. That is when you realize, you do your research, you do your investigation. Oh, this person I was dealing with has a whole wife and family out here. And didn't tell me, didn't let me know. That explains the drop-off. That is different from knowingly involving yourself with a married man like Claressa did. And because it is not panning out the way that she was hoping. It is not garnering the praise and success and the accolades that she is looking for. She wants to victimize herself. She wants to attack and try to destroy anybody's reputation, anybody's, credentials, or any of the sort. Excuse everyone as clickbait, bots, paid bloggers, paid media that is just randomly going in on Claressa Shields for nothing. And I gotta say this too. Ultimately, a lot of us that do content, we're not personally attached to the situation. It's just that we have passion on specific topics. And in my case, you are not going to convince me in any situation that knowingly involving yourself with a married man is going to get you any praise, any acceptance, any round of applause from me. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And it doesn't matter what people's personal story is. Some people, yes, are passionate about this because they may have been cheated on or they may have seen all this happen to them, and that's their right if they feel that way. Some people have never involved themselves with a married man. Some people may have unknowingly, like the example I gave, unknowingly didn't know they were dealing with a married man until they see the same patterns with all married men. That happens. The married men that are actively out here trying to be out in these streets. Same thing. But whether this has happened to you personally or not, or you know somebody that has happened to or not, Claressa wants to be famous. Claressa is the one that wants to be talked about in the blogs. Claressa is the one that wants this fame, that wants this clout, that wants this attention. If you want to be entertaining a married man in peace, you need to utilize the lotto approach. Let's continue.
A married man. I don't say I'm condoning what she's going through, but everybody got a family member, a friend, or somebody that you know that is dealing with something that she is dealing with, but for some reason the world just wants her to walk away and do something that you probably have never did yourself. Let that girl go on her journey.
And again, this is where I vehemently disagree with you, Kendra G, because like I said, like the people who've been following this story know, Claressa knowingly decided to insert herself in the business of someone else's marriage and believed the lies that a married man told her. But I believe she already knew that, because here's the thing, you're not going to know for real, what the status of Pap and Remy's marriage was. You're not going to know that information. A married man that partakes in this is always going to lie about the details of whatever's going on with him and his wife. And here's the thing, Kendra G, I'm not singling out Claressa Shields. Those of y'all that followed me from the Love and Marriage Huntsville days, y'all know I do not give any mistresses a pass. I've gone in on Lotto because we found, you know what I'm saying? They found the active marriage license. So anytime Lotto gets on here and is like, I'm not effing a married man, but we have the active marriage license that shows from our records that that's a married man. We have not, nobody has produced for me a divorce decree, or that there were any hearings that have taken place in Atlanta that indicate that 21 Savage is a divorced man. So anytime it hits my desk of somebody trying to entangle themselves with a married man and having the audacity to bring a child into the foolishness and into the madness, it is going to get drug up and through here. And even in the Cardi B situation, because I like Cardi B, but I did not like the whole thing with Stefan Diggs, and I did not like that a child was brought into the mess of it all while she is still married to, Offset. Now, I believe the difference with the Offset situation versus the Remy Ma Pap situation is there's active divorce proceedings taking place, And the standstill, from what I understand, is Pat pulled an offset. Pat pulled an offset, although I still don't have the receipts on Pap's end of active divorce dockets and hearings and so forth. But basically, Pat pulled an offset. In that offset, I believe was offered a lump sum of money, like around 5 or 10 million to get away, to finalize the divorce of it all. And he was like, no. I want half of your earnings. I built you. I built this. So we're going to be at a standstill here because I need this gambling money. See, you know what I'm saying? I need this gambling money. And what's crazy is, you know what I'm saying? The only difference between Offset and Pap when it's all said and done is ultimately his cheating was always on Front Street. And Offset actually had a career and has millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But still, like Pap, had to leech on to a bigger celebrity, had to leech on to a bigger name for all of the fame and fortune and clout and opportunities. And he feels away. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He may not even want his wife anymore, but he doesn't want anybody else to have her. And he doesn't want to lose that access to that lifestyle, to being known as Cardi B's husband. And that is what you are seeing in the case with Pap as well. And I believe we just have a little bit more to get into with this clip of Kendra G. And then I'm going to give some final thoughts. So let's continue.
Let us support this Black woman for once. Like, at this moment now, I got to call it out. Like, now I got to see that I do think people are trying to use her for clickbait, and I don't think that's right. And that's energy. You got to be careful on how you do it, because one thing God going to do, the energy that you put out in the world, you're going to get back. Mm-hmm. And people got to understand that. Like, karma is real. So if you have ill will intentions to some woman or any person, be prepared for you to receive that ill will intentions. She's a young Black girl. She's doing the best that she knew how to do at this moment in life. And that's the end of the story.
I am confused by this take. I am confused by this argument, because clickbait would indicate that people are doing Claressa Shields content for fun and secretly condone this type of behavior, secretly partake in this type of behavior. The people that have called this out don't condone this type of behavior of knowingly involving yourself with a married man and then getting on the internet and gaslighting the people when the people are not receptive to it. That to me is not clickbait. Clickbait to me is presenting a false narrative intentionally for clicks and views. Claressa intentionally is clickbaiting us, is trying to present her and Pap as couples goals, as relationship goals, knowing how her and Pap got together was knowing that this was a married man. See, I feel like this is all wrong. I feel like everything Kendra G is projecting onto content creators or anybody that doesn't agree with how Claressa Shields is moving, it's everything actually that Claressa has been doing. It is Claressa and her family, Kendra G. Her sister got on that live stream. What was that, a month or two ago, back when all the Nigeria drama happened? And her sister, Bree, told the world on the Facebook Live that her and her sister knowingly involved themselves with married and unavailable men, and Pap is not the first one, and they have no problems effing a married man or going after somebody else's man, that is in their DNA. That is how they move. That is how they operate. So what is clickbait about that? When you have the own family member confirming that this is how they move in real life, and this is rumored that this is not the first time that Claressa has got involved with someone else's man. So how is that clickbait? What is clickbait is Claressa presenting God into this mess and saying that God is speaking to her and God is working on her and working through her, while actively participating and partaking with a married man that refuses to divorce his wife, that refuses to let go of Remy Ma, refuses to cover up the Remy Ma tattoo, that refuses to delete the Instagram posts that feature him and Remy Ma where he is writing all those dissertations of how much he loves her Dion, how Remy's the trendsetter, how Remy is an amazing cook, how Remy is amazing mom. You know what I'm saying? The things that you say about a wife. Like, I think Kendra G has this twisted, because here's the thing. People will not stop talking about Claressa Shields until she stops talking to us about the BS. Claressa doesn't want to be known as a female boxer. She only cares about that when you prop up somebody else, or somebody else is set to take the throne, such as Alicia Baumgartner and others. That is when Claressa really gets pressed like a panini and wants to remind y'all of her boxing accolades, or whenever she's nominated for sports awards against other black female athletes, she all of a sudden wants to act as though she's the greatest thing since sliced bread and deserves any award over Asia Wilson, over Angel Reese, and all of these things, and then gets mad and wants to call out the BET Awards as if she's being intentionally sabotaged, when her credentials and what she's done the last year that she's been nominated for these awards don't even match up, don't even hold a candle to these other female athletes. So what is clickbait about that when the facts are the facts? You have boxing and non-boxing platforms that are sick of Claressa Shields' SHIT. You have people who are in the boxing spaces that are sick of Claressa's SHIT. Nothing is clickbait about that. All Claressa has to do is be with her married man in peace. Stop disturbing our peace. Stop going back and forth on the internet with these people. Stop being in the comments. Stop allegedly being behind burner accounts. And just focus on your boxing career. That's it, that's all. But Claressa knows if she does that, nobody's going to pay attention to her. Who is doing content over Claressa's daily boxing training videos for her upcoming fight this week? Nobody. But what happens is Claressa has to do the crash out lives in between the quote-unquote training for the upcoming fight so that she can get into the blogs. See, I feel like Kendra G, you are underestimating Claressa and Pap's role in this. That they know to keep themselves in the algorithm, they will forever attach themselves to Remy. They know anytime Remy is mentioned in an interview or shots are fired that way at Remy's interview, it's going to go viral. If Claressa does not want to be talked about as well of her cringe answers that she states in these interviews, she doesn't have to go on them. But she knows that there is nothing else that is happening for her. There is no endorsements. There are no brand deals except for that one that she is in with Pap's daughter. For the lip gloss of it all. My lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss is popping. That deal. But outside of that, it is nothing. It is zilch. It is nada. So Claressa, like I said, is clickbaiting us. It is Claressa that is rage baiting us. We're not doing the clickbaiting. Clickbaiting to me is me doing content or a video or whatever the case may be that is presenting a false narrative, that is presenting as though we're going to specifically talk about X, Y, and Z, and I hit you with a video on ABC 1, 2, 3. No. That's clickbait. That is false advertising. What Claressa is doing is clickbait and false advertising to the general public, because what she's trying to do is present this entanglement with a married man as black love, as couples goals, and trying to replicate and recreate everything Pap and Remy has already done, already achieved, already accomplished. And not only that, there is still no divorce in sight, and they have been public about this for a couple of years. And y'all know, especially in our community, especially people, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be supporting no mistress situation. I'm of confusion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm from a different world, a different family, a different upbringing. But there's not going to be no mistress or no side chick type of mentality or behavior in the family. That's going to get shut down. You know what I'm saying? So it's really the audacity that Kendra G thinks that we have people in our family or in our friend group that are out here knowingly messing with married men. No. Not in my family, not in my friend group. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it is Claressa that is doing all the rage baiting, that is doing all the false advertising, and that is why she is in the position that she is. That is why she's getting drug up and through here on this internet. Now, unfortunately, not everybody has came in from the beginning. And so what's happening now is the Claressa defenders are trying to nitpick and pick and choose which argument they feel like is going to make Claressa Shields look good. And in Kendra G's approach, she's trying to make it seem like, oh, Claressa hasn't been to this school, but she has been to this school. She has a history of allegedly being involved with other people's significant others, so she's fully aware of what she's doing. She is a person who likes to latch on to other people and absorb whatever it is about them that she likes. And then once she's done with them, she discards of them and tries to copy and mimic everything about them. So if she likes your men and she likes your husband, she's going to pretend to be your friend, like what she did with Remy, until she can achieve her goal of stepping out with Remy's husband. If she wants to, you know what I'm saying, receive the attention and the accolades and all of this and all of that, she'll pretend that she really wants to be mentored and coached by Layla Ali, only to turn on Layla Ali and misinterpret things that Layla Ali has said in interviews and advice and feedback that has been given to Claressa. Claressa Neal is implementing what Layla Ali has told her, but she's trying to present it as though this is something that she was always going to do. No. So those are just a few of many examples, but this video is getting too long. Y'all know I don't do long videos like this, unless it's a review on a TV show. But anyways, that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor. I need y'all to do me the biggest one. And that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's todo es final. Es finito. Is he on the road? Is he on the line for this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.